That's how I used to start a review, wasn't it? Hello, everybody. Jesus, I've not done that in a while.
Evening all. Well, all one of you who's watching. It's got to be us two talking to ourselves by the looks on it.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, hello, Tracy.
Good evening, Tracy. I hope you had a good birthday.
Hey, Hayley.
She's literally sat on the 10th floor.
Hello, Hayley.
We do have a familiar face joining us. If anyone else actually bothers to watch, Jesus Christ, I know we've been off for 2 weeks, but blimey.
Happy birthday, Tracy.
It's very quiet. Actually, I'm just going to turn your mic up a little bit so you're a little bit quiet.
Sorry. Am I quiet to you, Tracy? Shouldn't be. I can move my mic.
Oh, no, you're on auto.
Hi, Deke.
Oh, evening, Deke. Good old Deke. Always there. Never forgot us.
Oh, good
excellent. Cheers, Deke. I'll turn him up a little bit anyway. I don't know why. Okay, I'll turn the level back on then. The level it was on, it was just quiet. I remember I'm going deaf. I am getting old.
Evening, Craig.
Mr. M.
I probably should do what Hayley does.
Yeah, highlight him because I never do that. Yeah, get tagging Anki Deke. He's not great, Anki, at the minute, bless him. Not great. So, yes, this is our May 23 Roundup Expo chat, really, with two of us, and we will be joined by someone else shortly. I say, for the old people that used to watch, they will recognise. And it's going to be interesting.
Oh, it is.
So I think we'll just pad site until our... I don't want to call him a guest.
Our old acquaintance.
Return of the Mac.
We've got 5 in the chat now, so it's starting to pad out a bit.
Oh, God. Don't go tagging Colin. Jesus, that's all we need. OG. Yeah, he's an OG. He is an OG.
Yeah, me and Colin's been having a discussion on the...
on that post on the Expo group.
Yeah.
I've seen the post. I haven't seen all the comments. I
think I was quite diplomatic as well.
That's what you should have put your little sub name as. The Diplomat. Not the Spare. Yeah, we're going to cover everything Expo Deke very shortly. We're just waiting for our OG guest panel member return of... Tracy's got it in one.
Is that better for you, Vinny?
Yeah, you need a gap though. It looks like all one word now. Oh my
smile.
No, don't smile. Jesus Christ, that looks scarier.
But yeah, we'll pad out until it gets in. So, did anybody else in the chat come to Expo this weekend? Last weekend? You know what I mean.
I'm not seeing anyone so far. Did everyone watch my silent movie walk around in respect of the great Charlie Chaplin?
The expression "piss up and brewery" springs to mind.
Fucking 3 hours putting a backing track on it for it not to work. 3 hours. Never mind. It's actually getting quite good views. So.
Oh.
I'll bring him up site.
I can't hear shit.
Yes.
I need to get my headphones.
You're on
my
to
headphones.
live.
What happened to the volume, man?
What volume?
My volume.
Well, you can hear us.
Is that it? No.
Oh, it wouldn't be the LXV without a fucking cock up, would it?
Oh.
Yeah.
Someone's saying hi, Tracy. He's gone again.
We'll let Zippy do some speaking and he can explain what's going on as well. But it looks like, yes. God, I want to get going. I want to talk. So much to talk about tonight.
Yeah, we've got 6 people watching.
I can't believe there's only 6. Jesus. It makes me wonder if the old whispers have been firing off.
Aye.
You never know.
But we'll gloss over that one. Oh, we've got 7.
Oh, God.
The viewing figures have just gone up by 2%.
And again.
8.
Face fuchsia wide eyes. What? I don't get that. You get it, Si? Oh, what the hell? And now there's just me. Cracking. So I just start talking about Expo? Where did you go then?
I don't know. I just went to do that.
Well, you left the studio. Zippy's not connected yet. He's back down there, but he's not connected. I bet
So,
he's tried
Vinny,
to come in on Chrome and he don't like it.
So, Vinny, what are you vaping on?
Well, tonight, Simon, I'm vaping on my Pulse AIO V2 with a ceramic EUC coil in there, and my liquid of choice in there is none other than the King's Custard Shamrock Cookie, which is rather delightful. Then I just realised I've still got them around my neck. Then I'm on my UL Cocoa Caliburn. Very nice little thing, even like the nice little flashy lights. In there, I'm on some Juice and Power Passion Lemonade. And I'm on the new Oxford X-Slim Pro, which is very shiny. Still, even though I've dropped it twice already. And in there, I am vaping on some Bar Juice Blue Raz Lemonade. Yeah, I can't stop vaping that juice. Simon, oh, you are still there. I thought you'd left completely again then. I thought I was going to.
No, I'd put you on big screen because Hayley told me off. Hey, honey.
Hey, honey. Why do you keep doing that? You don't know the controls. Leave them alone.
I was trying
Leave them alone.
I was trying to get me on big screen.
Right, I'll do it. Okay.
Hi, James.
There you go.
That's you.
What?
That's better.
That's scary.
Right, what am I vaping? I am on my Geek Vape H4.
Read it off the box.
I'm on my Geek Vape H45 Classic with some Rehab Black
From Wicked Addiction.
from Wicked Addiction, which is actually purple. I am on Haley's Freemax
Marvis 100.
Marvis 100, and that has got the Rehab, the new one, which is fucking gorgeous. And I'm on my Caliburn with some Vaporholics Fantasy Bar Juice Energy Ice, which again is fucking amazing. And that's all I'm vaping on.
My turn. Nice. Right. Argus Pod. Having a change on there. Trying that one. Picked up that last week. And Shy Tots Paradox, which is a nice pineapple rhubarb. So I'm on them. Getting back into vaping.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Ah, but
Right.
I'm using that one.
How's the Shy Tot Zip? Because obviously they won a lot of awards at Expo.
Mate, it's nice, man. I mean, it's this one's Paradox, which is, as I say, the pineapple and rhubarb. But it's really nice, man.
It's an interesting mix, that, because it'll be hard to get right as well.
Well, to be fair, I'm using this, which isn't ideal because it's an 80-20.
Yeah.
I think it's just a bit too what's it for it. But when I bought, because I spoke to Jane while I was there, because it was Ian Nelson that says go over and have a look.
Yeah.
So I went over and I took advantage of the little deal they had going. So, I mean, I've got them. That one, the key lime cheesecake. That's really nice. I prefer a bit more lime in it, though. But you know what I mean. It's
Yeah, you like your lime kick, don't you?
Yeah, it's there, but as I've been using it in this, I've got to get some batteries for the overkill.
I said to you if you got batteries for it.
Mate, I thought I got some here because I ordered some the last time and I ordered all 18650s, didn't I?
Oh, it's 20 bucks.
So I'm going to pick some up. So I need to hook up with Steve.
Yeah. Yeah, go see Steve.
So
definitely.
it'll be a good excuse to go and see him anyway, man.
It is. We haven't talked anything about Expo yet, Zip, just so you're fully aware. We thought we'd wait until all three of us was there, seeing as Chris is dying. Evening, Mike.
All right, dude. Yeah,
Simon's gone again. Simon can't highlight things without vanishing. Simon, just leave the controls alone.
Mate, I was trying to I was in, I was out, I was in, I was out. I was like, then it blocked me, and I was like, "What do you mean I'm blocked?" But it blocked all the settings. I had to go back and change everything. I was like,
Evening,
"You know what I mean, man? I'm never ready for any of this."
But yeah,
I'm cack-handed. I keep hitting the side button on the mouse.
You're not cack-handed because you're not left-handed. And it's not just lefties.
Just to make it clear, it's not me that broke it.
Makes a change.
It does make a change. You're absolutely right. It is nearly always me. Not this time, though. Oh, Mike, I didn't even see you, dude. I was there Friday, Saturday. Unless you was there Sunday, and then that'll be why I didn't see you. Jesus, how can you miss me? Right then. Expo, May 23. Last weekend.
Should we start with the positives?
Yeah, all right. I was going to go to Zippy. Go on then. We'll start with positive side. What was the positives for you?
The Home Zone was amazing this year. A lot bigger.
Yeah.
A lot more interaction in there. Some amazing companies,
especially between stands as well, which was like it was in the old days, man. That's like going back 4 years. People back in and forth in.
There was some great innovation there.
What in particular innovation-wise side did you see in there?
I think it was more the moving forward with certain things, which I think you'll want to brush. You'll want to speak about more later on. But things like e-looks and things like that, and what they was doing.
Well, they weren't in the Home Zone. There was in the movie, but yeah, definitely.
It was a lot louder this year, though.
I don't think it was that bad.
That was loud.
It wasn't as if every stall had their own music. It was like there was one in a row, and that kind of permeated all the way down.
Man, that weren't loud.
No, it's been louder than that before. We
Mate,
can hardly
remember when
hear each other.
you had Evo on the go, you had the stage on the go, things like Riot Squad on the go, man. Every 100 yards that you walked, it was like dum, 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 dum. That was loud.
Yeah, that was the loudest. You literally couldn't hear someone stood next to you. That was probably loud. But yeah, the Om Zone was awesome. Lots and lots of variation in there now, and obviously the coils, the juice, and the mods. It was just that for me was Expo, really.
Yeah,
in many ways. That
The
old Expos.
The Om Zone was old Expo, just compacted.
Yeah.
It really was. It really was, and it's interesting because obviously I've been talking to some companies and things. And I think next Expo, you're going to see even more companies deciding to go in there. I mean, Wicked Diction had one of the biggest juice stands in the whole of Expo, and they're going in the Om Zone next year. Hope I haven't just released a spoiler, but they are.
I knew about it, so I don't think it's a spoiler.
Definitely not, then.
Vinny, if you've only just got wind of it, it's not anything. No. It's
So
all old news.
Yeah, I don't get old new, do I? No, not anymore. Fucking has been. I mean, Zip, you've been away from the Expo for a while, haven't you?
Yeah, man. The last time we went, I mean, Evolution were there and everyone, you know what I mean? It was all.
But was it that year Max was there from Deathwish as well?
Yeah, I think it was, man. Although
Yeah,
I might have, it might have even been the one before that was the last one I went to.
Bloody hell.
It's been a while, man. But
Well, you'll notice a real big change in the swing to disposables.
dude, I'd heard about, while I've been away, man, I've heard about all the disposable city and all that. And was I surprised by it? No, not really. Having seen other videos from people before.
Yeah.
But teching, I think if you're going to discuss Expo, you got to take the disposables out of the equation because, I mean, that's first on everybody's gripe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was one of them. But having gone round and there's people that I spoke to that watched it, man, it was a positive vibe.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? The one thing that it had that old school feel about it, and it surprised me. And it was like, you know, there was people started talking about Mexican. There was you know, and you know, people were talking about squonks, and that, you know, they wish this had been there, this had been there, and I was like, you know what? That's how I remember it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know, I mean, you can see people want to swing back to the old day. You know, we say the old day, it's like, you know, 2 or 3 years ago. You know what I mean? It just seems a lifetime since.
You give it 6 months, you know, and I reckon Mex will be back massive. I really, really do. Just from that vibe.
There was a lot more people wanting them and stuff. You know what I mean? Like I said to you, like, I mean, I'd heard gripes, and it was like, you know, oh well, this wasn't available, that weren't available. To me, the Expo, apart from the top end and the odd 1 or 2 stalls, it was a trade fest. It wasn't an Expo; it's a trade fest.
I've been saying this a lot on the Expo website because a lot of people have been complaining about the fact that there was nothing there to buy. But it is. The Friday is the day what all of those companies go to Expo for.
Yeah. To me, it had become a B2B 3-day event. Yeah. Because you know, the amount of people that were saying, you know, oh, I can't, you know, oh, I'll take one of them. Oh, you can't. What do you mean I can't? It was either non-UK compliant, which so it's pointless bringing it anyway.
Yeah.
Or it's not released yet.
Yeah. And it was like, well, where can you get this? Oh, well, we'll have to sort that out. Well, you know, by then you've moved on to the next one. That's it. I mean, not being funny, that's if, and I'm not trying to be what's it in any way. People can take it how they want. That's if you could actually talk to somebody on the stand. So, you know, not being funny, I was asking questions and it was like,
Yeah, we had that a few times, didn't we?
I know that there's a language barrier and everything else, but if you're going to come and promote your stuff and chase customers on a UK market, please bring people that, and I mean this in all respect, man, but can understand.
There seemed to be a lot of stands that had two different flavors. There was either the Chinese people who bought stuff across and the language barrier was an issue, or there was the short skirts and high heels that the first time that they'd heard about a vape was 9 o'clock Friday morning.
See, I'm actually going to defend some of them, because this was one of the few expos I've been to, and they were actually vaping, and they seemed to be enjoying what they was vaping on. A lot of the time before, you never saw them actually vaping.
Well, I see one choking.
It wasn't a vape there.
To be fair, though, man, those that weren't vaping were either sat there eating the dinner in the back of the cubicle, or
on the phones.
You sat there on the phone like that, and it was like there was no. I didn't see the interaction there that there has been on previous years. Everyone that approached, it was like, you know, what business are you with? Well, I'm here on a Saturday. I'm not with a businessman.
Yeah.
There was a couple of stands I went to where we was just blanked.
Just what?
Yeah.
Blanked.
Oh, that's just you, Si. That's all that is, mate. Don't take that the wrong way.
No, but on a few of them were coming up, and it was like, oh, you know, what business you with? What, you know, and it's like, well, I'm here for the fun of it. I'm not here for business. Oh, okay, then no problem. And they were off to the next person.
Yeah.
It was like, right.
There was a lot of that. Our way, when we went on the business to business day, me and Simon, it was coming up to you. What business are you? No. We'll review.
No, but the thing is, you can understand it on a B2B, but when you come to an event like that and you're aimed at public and trying to get the public on board, A, bring the products, B, know what you're talking about, C, fucking interact with people.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If someone like Evo had gone to that show last weekend, they'd have made a killing. If
Evo was there.
Eh?
Evo were there, but they was only there on the Friday.
They didn't have a stand, though, Si, did they?
They
had staff members scattered all over. And they did all through the weekend as well, because some of the ones on Oxford and some of them on there and there, it's like they'd spread them out, because James was there as well.
Right, their stands used to be heathen, man. They bought their own speaker system and all sorts.
Was the guaranteed place where you could go and buy.
Mate, that was the Eva back in the day.
Yeah.
But you've got to think there's no Evo stand, no eSig one stand.
eSig one never have done an expo though. It's like the Cloud Island and things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Danny was there and getting the vibe, but he was there purely business, seeing distros. It'd be good to see Danny back down there as much as his.
It would, but I mean, I can understand these companies staying away because it's got to be worth their money just to turn up. You know, I mean, look at what they're banging on price-wise now for a stand. They're there to make money, man.
I know a big stand takes the $5,000 deposit just to hold it.
Yeah,
so how exactly. Much on top of that, I dread to think.
You know, I mean, we didn't the stands before, and it was like, you know, some of them just about broke even on the day. So I can understand them not going, but I've been thinking about it, you know, all week, and it's been like, right, you know, all I heard was people saying, and all I've seen on Facebook groups and pages has been, you know, oh, you know, wish this person had been there, wish this person had been there.
Yeah.
You know what? One bit of advice, right? For these stands to go, it's got to be made worth their while, right? Simon's idea of having it subsectioned wouldn't work for now till you had that interest from other stands. But
sorry, Zip, I glitched out there and look, man, I missed that.
No, I was just saying, you know, I've seen all in the groups people saying, you know, oh, I wish this had been there, this juice brand was there, then that juice brand was there. You know, we wish that all of them had gone like the old day, right? And to a point, I can understand Simon's idea of the subsectioning the expo off.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to make that work, you've got to make sure you've got enough of everybody else, which at the moment there wouldn't be, unfortunately. But I see all these people griping about it. You know what? Get on your groups, get in touch with these companies, fucking email them, say to them, come to the expo, come to the expo.
The thing is, it's all well and good saying you want this company, that company there, but you've got to be prepared to put your hand in your pocket when they're there.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Show them that demand's there for them.
Because a lot of them are only want them there so they can go like that at the main stage.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong. But yeah.
No, but you know what I mean? I see people saying in the group saying, you know, oh, this. Well, get your groups together. They're all representing these brands still. I don't care what anyone says. They're all there promoing this shit.
Yeah.
Forget promoing the shit. Get in touch with the companies. Show them there's following for the juice or the brand or whatever. Show them what numbers can get there.
Yeah.
Speak to them, man.
Give them that incentive to actually get there.
Yeah. They've got it to make it worth their while. There's got to be the demand there. Show them the demand, then they'll come.
Yeah, I agree completely.
It's as simple as that, man. You know what I mean? They're there to make money. They're there to work the brand and everything, but they're there to make money at the end of the day, man. It's got to be worth the while.
We only went over to the main stage for one company, and that was primarily to support friends of ours at Vupo.
Yeah,
I was there. I was at the other side.
We were in the corner, man.
But
we were in the corner.
But seeing that, I can honestly say the people, when you see the people scrambling for a lanyard and
Mate, that was nothing, man. That was tame.
You should have, in the old days, Jesus Christ, there's people elbowing you and kicking
20 foot deep down aisles, queuing in the middle, man. They were chucking stuff off. It was like an MMA Royal Rumble. It was so, man.
The point I'm trying to make is that isn't what you should be going to Expo for. If you're stood around that main stage trying to get your free shit, you're not there supporting the companies that you use.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But you also, like I say, I'm talking.
That's never going to go away.
No, they what's it that's where the centre stage is where they drag their audience from in the hope that they follow them back to the group to the booth at the end there. We've seen that in the past. But I know I'll keep saying about the old day, but that to me, that was not the. Man's giving away a pair of scales on the fucking stage. Yeah, vape show, man. What the fuck's a pair of scales?
Scales.
Yeah, there was a pair when they were up there. The geezer on the stage give some. He was like, who wants these scales? And it was
I've got to admit, that was the company that I went over to support as well. But it was the fact that it's a set of scales.
Yeah.
You can weigh the free shit.
Hey, they just said it said they can weigh the free shit.
Well, I've seen people saying, I'll come away with this, come away with that. I come away with a bit. I even made a point on Vinny's walkthrough, go and get free shit, you know what I mean? But you know what? And I don't care, I'll blow my own trumpet. It's all gone away. It's all gone to people. That's why I collected the free shit, because I knew where it was going.
And that's why I was giving you it as well, because I knew you was doing that. So I have no qualms about giving you all that to do that as well.
You know what I mean?
I just want to address something in the chat. Sorry, excuse me. They're all saying about Hall of Vape and things. Hall of Vape and UK Expo are very, very different. Hall of Vape in Stuttgart, that is Europe's main one. You think of Europe and the market size there, it is a lot bigger than the UK one. A lot bigger. That's why they can get them names that everyone wants to see at UK Expo at the Hall of Vape. It is at least 4 times bigger.
They've commanded the market on that.
Yeah.
And they can guarantee a turnover at that.
Yeah. And
you know what I mean? Like I say. Yeah, like I say, sit there repping your fucking shit. Just get out there, fucking drum some proper business up.
Yeah.
I came away with the least stuff I've ever done because I didn't take the bags that was handed out to us. And
I come away with the most.
every last thing I came away with was something that I wanted.
Fair play, man.
Actually, yeah, I'll say that as well because I gave all the stuff I didn't want to Zippy.
I didn't come home with 27 bags of stuff that I'm gonna chuck away and never use. 2,000 10mm zero nick samples. I came away with stuff that I wanted.
Yeah,
and I think that's the way you need to do it because otherwise you're just gonna come home with bags of shit and cardboard and.
Right, but some people are happy to come home with bags of shit. They have done for years.
Yeah. Yeah, and you've
For me, coming back into this, the old fucking let's rip the shit out, free shit, and this, that, and the other, man. They're time gun arguments. It hasn't changed in 7 years since I've been
8 years.
It's never going to change. Everybody wants free shit.
Yeah, everyone loves free shit, no matter what it is.
No, look at this man in the corner. Look how well he's done off free shit up here. It has its benefits.
So moving it on, what was your highlight? So Vinny, what was your highlight?
Well, you see, obviously I've been away from reviewing through COVID, everything else, been a nurse and shit that's gone on, personal life and everything. I've been away. For me to touch base with some of these companies again, to be welcomed back like an old friend, was amazing for me personally. But Expo for me, it's always been the social. It's a massive social event. Chance to see people you don't live near, chance to see old faces. Even there was a lot of old faces still there. Yes, they weren't exhibiting, but they were still there. Like I said, I mentioned Danny from Cloud Island. Yeah, he's a bit loud and a bit abrasive, and a lot of people don't like him, but his heart's in the right place as well. A lot of the time. It was just the social, like I say, the social side for me is all Expo. It is just a big, massive social where you can meet people. As soon as me and you walked in Friday side, Vic was stood right there. We stood there 15 minutes talking to Vic. And everyone knows my issues past with Vic and things like that. It's at Expo, them sort of things get broken down, and it's like we're all together, we're all hanging out, and it's just really, it's a good laugh.
But it's like I always say, I like Vic because you can have a good conversation with Vic. You can always have a good conversation with him.
Yeah, maybe not always on the topics you want the conversation with, but yes.
So Zippy, what was your highlight?
For me, I don't know. I enjoyed it all, man. It was one, like I said, take the disposables out of the argument, take them out of the equation, man. But it was like, I knew where I wanted to go, where I wanted to do, what I wanted to have a look at. I've come away with fucking my RDO, this, and I've been relatively clear of the fags for a week. That for me is the positive, you know what I mean? It's going back. It blew my head because it was like you like I said, you got that old school feel back when you went up to the home zone and stuff. I was gutted that there weren't a lot of people there that I remember. You know what I mean? There was a lot of the old faces missing. But it was one of them. I come away with a proper positive vibe from it. You know what I mean? And I think hopefully come October you may see things start changing.
Yeah,
it's nice to see. It's nice to see that the vaping community side of it hasn't been totally forgotten.
No, it definitely hasn't. It definitely hasn't. Go on, inside. What was your highlight of it all?
Well, apart from spending the day, 2 days with you, Vinny.
Of course.
It was really nice to meet Zippy face to face for the first time as well.
Fair play. And
he's doing a quality brown nose bit right now, isn't he?
and there was some nice little hidden gems there, especially in the juice area. There was a couple of nice little tucked away juice companies. There's one that you've got, Vinny, which we tried right at the very end.
Yeah, literally just as I was leaving.
Yeah, and I literally dragged him over to get some so he can do a review on it.
You had to drag him for a free.
Yeah, you had to drag. I wanted to go home to him.
Can't believe that.
And it's actually the company that does all the white label juice that goes in the disposables.
But now actually bringing out the juice, so it's quite cool.
They've actually branched off and they're bringing the juice out themselves as a 10 mil, 20 mil, 20 mg, 10 mg.
Nice.
So they've diversified from that. I've got
which is good to see. Which is really good to see.
I've got to say a big shout out to Wick Addiction and that new one. That is the biggest headfuck vape juice I've ever had in my life. Because I'm vaping it now a week on and I still can't work out what the flavors are. And it is really doing my head in because it is a complete secret recipe. But it is, I mean, you've tried it, Vinny. It's amazing, isn't it?
Every time you vape it, it's a different flavour. And I've got to do a review on that, so it's going to be God knows. I think I've got 4 flavours now out of it, roughly. But that's
every one of them will be wrong.
Yeah, well, there's apparently over 20 flavours in it, Zip.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I've put them in different devices, and every single device I'm getting different flavour and different taste depending on the coil and everything. And it's witchcraft. It honestly is witchcraft. I actually said on their Facebook page, I put a comment, and I said it's like a Picasso. You look at it and you think, what the fuck is that? But then you just keep going back to it because it is so good. You have to keep going back because it's like, and you're seeing something different every single time.
You'll have to send me a link to that one.
Yeah, I'm not going to rush the review of that. I got 3 bottles of it, so I'll go steady with it. I'm just going to some questions in the chat. Chris was there. Kev, no Josh. Josh is still doing Josh things. Hobbyist wise at Expo, they were some bits and bobs. Obviously, Death Wish once was there. Zippy got a lovely RDA from there that we went over and got. BP mods were there. Obviously, Vapors Cloud, Suicide Mods, Johnny Overkill. Zippy spent $1. Still can't use it. But there was the hobbyist side, Kev, from last year to this May has definitely increased.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you the one I enjoyed the most up there. Right, taking nothing away from the others like Johnny Overkill and all them. There was a guy down by CC Coils, and he sat there with a fucking drill, and he'd got his fingers like that, full of braided wire, and he's just like that. And it was like Edward's scissor hands of the coil.
I bought 3 sets of his coils if I've stood there gawping for about 25 minutes.
I was just watching him, and I was like, you know, it was everyone perfect, and it was like a proper. It was like a Freddy Krueger with coil build.
Yeah.
He was just
the way he wasn't just doing that. He was threading the coil around. He was doing everything.
That's what I mean. I've never seen anybody make coils like that, and he deserves a shout out. He does.
Every coil he makes is handmade like that. I can't remember the guy's name now.
He wasn't using a drill, nothing, was he? It was literally all.
He'd got it linked up on the drill. I think he'd done the initial braid on the drill, but then he sat there and he was just like that with every single sort of loop strand on each finger, and he was like that, just weaving them in. And I was like, I could have sat and watched him all day, man.
And of course, we got to see our wee Scott as well, Eat My Baby.
Yeah, evening, Mark. Johnny did have a lot to sell, Kev, at Expo, but he did sell out quite quickly still as well.
Tell me about it, man.
And
that geezer stood there with me.
He got the award for best sub-on device as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
which is massive for
That,
such.
that geezer was stood with me next to me, and he was talking to his mate. You know, oh, I'll get them for that. Yeah, I'll have that one. I'll have that. See you later. and I got the Johnny Skeleton as well. I was buzzing with that, man. I just said to Johnny, I was like, I'll take that if I can have that. And he was like, deal.
He was doing hands after that, Zip. He had like conjoined finger hands.
Man, them 3D printers are wicked, man.
Yeah.
Sarah's got one.
I want to get there's a thing you can get for hat clips to clip them on the wall, so they're displayed on the wall. I need to find that I don't know what it is, that design thing, and find someone to make them because they look great.
Mate, they're wicked, man. I mean, Sarah's got the end of free, and we have a play with that. But that stuff Johnny's got.
Yeah,
that coffee, I'm loving that coffee, man.
It's a great mod.
No, it's good, man. I have got batteries somewhere, but I think they're not really. I can't remember when I bought them, and I don't want to run the risk of it. You know what I mean? So I don't want to run the risk of charging them and shit like that.
But yeah, Johnny had stab woods there and all sorts, didn't he? This time,
right? Them mods, they were stunning.
Yeah,
they were stunning.
Really pretty.
You know what I mean? And I mean, looking at mods from before, I think they were dirt cheap. I honestly do. For what he's done with them. I
know we're talking back in the day. There used to be a company called Scarab, which did a lot of mods like what Johnny does, and you'd be paying $900, $950 for them.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Yeah, and let's. I mean, there is, when it comes to acrylic and wood and stuff like that, there's a lot of work that goes into that.
Yeah, a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, and I know that myself because we've messed about with wood and resin and stuff. So, you know what I mean? I can appreciate the work that goes into them and the styling and stuff like that. But they were.
Mike just popped up a discount code up for you for Fogstar.
Like it. I'll be on
that. Every day, that's 20% all the time. That one is Planet of the Vapes 20.
Nice one, dude. Appreciate it.
So now, are we going to address some of the elephants in the room?
Don't talk
I've been called many a thing, Simon, but I've never been called an elephant. Go on then, Si. Which one do you want to tackle first?
Shall we tackle the UK Vape one first?
Yeah, the big one. Obviously, everyone knows UK Vape, commonly known as the UK Vape Industry Association. John's the big chairman, head figure, John Dunn. Slightly concerning that they seem to have backtracked on where they was last year, and now every single disposable company that was at Expo seems to be members of UK Vape. They seem to be the vast majority of stands that were displaying their little signs. They all had these little signs saying "Proud member of UK Vape." Now, they were very much anti-disposable. Now, all of a sudden, they ain't so anti-disposable. And has everyone crashed, or is it just me?
No, I think it's just Zippy who's crashed. I'm still here. That.
So it was really, really confusing. I tried to get a word with John, but he was flying around all over the place. And it's just slightly worrying. While we're talking about this, there is an open invite out to John or UK Vape or anyone that are represented to come on and discuss this. It seems like a massive flip-flop on where they was.
It worried me completely. And Tracy's got a point with what she's just put in the chat, and I won't pin it, because if I do...
You'll get kicked off. So I'll pin it. There you go.
Crash myself out the room. I hope that's not the case, Tracy. I really, honestly, and truthfully hope that is not the case.
See, I know John's very active with trading standards, getting illegal disposables out of shops and things like that, and helping trading standards seize things. It just all of a sudden seems there's been quite a shift in their membership. All the big companies that were there, Lost Vape, places like that, Oxford, Vupu, none of them seem to be in it.
No.
Which they were. They definitely were. So what's gone on there? Like I say, it's a little bit disconcerting, really. As someone,
especially with what we had planned when we went down there.
yeah. And then to see all that, it just, I can't remember, what was that other charity that was near them, Si, who we spoke to and you did that piece to camera for?
I can't remember off the top of my head. Haley's
You've got a bloody hoodie with a name all over it, haven't you?
Yeah. Haley's wearing it now. She's just gone upstairs. But there is a new inverted commas charity, which is trying to protect the vape industry. I always worry when those two words come in the same sentence because, you know, but they seem to be on the ball.
Yeah, they do. But the charity side of it's disconcerting. I think, let's be honest, I think if we get the issues we're expected to get, I don't think we can rely on any of them associations doing what we need them to do right now.
We're going to have to do it ourselves.
Yeah, which, again, is slightly concerning as well because there's so many people that don't really give a rat's ass.
And then there's so many people that don't actually see the issues.
Yeah, blinded by the light or the free shit. It's, yeah, the fight is coming. I know people say, yeah, you've been saying that for 3 or 4 years. It is coming.
The problem is the fight is coming because it's getting closer and closer every day, and we can see it coming closer and closer every day. But we shouldn't kick disposables in the teeth completely from what we've seen at Expo.
Well, that I was just going to say, to counteract this argument completely, E-Lux, that flummoxed me, Si. I wasn't expecting to see that.
I wasn't either.
Now, E-Lux had these collection pots, I suppose is the best way. Like a clear, transparent tube, you know, like the ones that you see in supermarkets for recycling your batteries in. They're offering thousands and thousands of these out to companies, organizations, shops, vape shops, anything. And it's a recycling port. Basically, all you do is just drop your dead disposable in there. When it's full, ring them. They collect it. You don't have to post it, anything like that. And then, this is the strange part, it gets shipped to China. They break it all down. They recycle the cells. The plastic gets melted back down into plastic. The only thing that gets thrown away is the coil and the wick. Everything else gets melted and repurposed, which is friggin' awesome. Let's be honest.
If it happens.
If it really happens. That is the big thing, Si. Because that guy that we spoke to from them, yeah, he knew what to say, but I don't think he entirely understood what he was saying.
Yeah, I was feeling that.
But that is a massive step in the right direction if it happens.
And then, of course, I found the company that's doing... This is the only disposable I actually came away with from Expo. And they're doing end-to-end recycling on these if they can get... They sell them in South America at the moment.
That's it.
And they're doing end-to-end recycling. So they sell them with a bag inside it. And when you're finished with it, you pop it in the bag and post it to them.
And then they recycle it completely.
And then they recycle it. But all of these things rely on one thing. The bins, the bags.
Yeah.
They rely on the people who are using them actually recycling them.
And being responsible, basically. Which is a big issue.
I mean, the reason I like this one is the fact there's no way, in any way, shape, or form, you can say that this is aimed at children.
No, but there was also all cigar flavours, Si, as well.
Yeah.
Which won't be for everybody.
And you tried them, and they are on point flavors as well.
Well, they taste like cigars, which was deadly for me because I used to love a cigar. So that's why I didn't touch them. I have nothing to do with that. Otherwise, I'll end up smoking bloody cigars again. And I don't want to do that. Yeah, James, that is the big... Well, that's not the big issue. That's like a sub-issue for the whole disposable thing, but it is a big issue as well. Obviously, everyone's shit on plastic waste, plastic pollution, and things like that. But it's... I don't like them. Yes, I have used my fair share of disposables. I don't like disposables. I got offered disposables to review, and I've declined. I won't do them anymore.
To be the diplomat in this, they do have a place in the market. They are a good They are a very good gateway for smokers to go through.
You hit the nail on the head there, Si. That's why they should be prescription only. That is the future for a disposable in my eyes. With your nicotine gum, with your inhalators, with your sprays, that is where disposables need to be.
The only place you should get them is on prescription or from a licensed vape shop. That is my honest opinion now. And it's changed because I was very much pro disposable. But from what I've seen over recent weeks and months, which you know about, which we will address on a later show, they are too easily, readily available to people who shouldn't be buying them.
They are, and like Craig said, there's shops selling 7,000 puffs and things like that, and 20%. Craig does worse than that. There is worse than that. But there is also now companies, shall we say, moving on from that topic side, moving on to finding loopholes in the disposable market with that wonderful pod that you are, maybe not wonderful, actually had 8 ml of juice in it. Legally had 8 ml of juice in it. Which, when you said that to me, I was like, it can't be legal.
And it was and it's actually IVG that's patented it.
Is it really? I noticed on lots of the pictures of people's free shit hauls, there was a lot of them given away.
And hopefully in a few weeks' time, we'll get somebody on from IVG because they have offered to come on and talk to us about it. And basically, the way they're marketing it is it only has a 2 ml tank in it. But in the package, there is another 3 2 ml tanks that you can just shove in there before you put the top cap on.
So that means you can have 4 2 ml tanks.
So they're not selling it with 8 ml of juice in it. They're selling it with 2 ml of juice in it and 3 refills.
But the way the clever way they've got round it, Si, is the fact you only use one at a time. You turn it, don't you?
Yeah, you can only activate one of the pods at any one time.
Which is how they've got around the 2 ml capacity.
That is a very big question, Kevin. And we all know that we buy our sub-ohm tanks, our RDAs, and we buy our bubble glass to go on it to increase that 2 ml to go in it. So
basically, Kev, the law states currently, the TPD law, that no tank vape vessel, I suppose is probably a better way of putting it, should hold over 2 ml. That is current law, TPD law. That will be scrapped. We know that's coming because it's going to go back up to 5. I'd like to see it scrapped completely again because I love massive tanks back in the day. My old dump tank, I don't even know where it's gone now. It's somewhere in here. And things like that. And it just makes life easier.
I mean, we both had that smock tank that held 20 ml, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah. TFV 16, that one, wasn't it? Or was it the 18? Yeah, I had 12 of them. I loved that tank.
It was a good tank.
Yeah, it was a good tank. The dual coil, though, not the triple. The triple was dodgy.
But to me, the disposables being sold with huge.
The thing is, Kev, the disposables are that much more ready and available. The press are all over them already. This is why I suppose the authorities are stamping down on tank size on them. Plus, obviously, youths, underage, things like that. It's one of those things that is easily clamped down on. Obviously, a lot of companies just stick rubber bungs inside things, which are easy to get out as well, which is an issue. Excuse me. It's just one of them stupid things that was written in TPD law that they shouldn't hold over 2 mil. I don't even know the reasoning behind it, if I'm completely honest.
I honestly and truthfully think that we need, especially with disposables, we need to stick with that 2 mil, because whenever you see a headline in a paper, illegal pod found in vape shop, and you might find it's only a 10 mil pod, 10 mg pod, but it's holding 20 mil of juice or whatever, and it's just giving those people that little bit more ammunition to just chip away at us. And we have to be squeaky clean.
Yeah, we do. We really, really do. Especially with them getting in the hands of kids as well. That's the big thing. That is the major thing. But that's not going to change until legislation changes, in my eyes, which is why it's really, really worrying. Jesus, stop them drinking it. Why would you drink it? It's awful.
I just got a mouthful before the show when I filled my tank up. And that was bad enough.
Nice. It's not nice. It is just not nice. But yeah, back to Expo. For me, the juice side of things, this Expo was brilliant. You had some companies that I've not seen at Expo before. Longboat were there, Factions was there, things like that, which was awesome. Obviously, I got to meet my friends at Wick Addiction and fell in love with the juice. That side of things is definitely on the up again for Expo. It's good to see. It really was good to see.
I don't think either of us in disagreement with you on that, Kev, at all.
No, it'll be scrap, Kev. It will go. It will be going. I think. Well, to be honest, there shouldn't really be that much of a capacity issue. There shouldn't be a size put on it, but I think it'll be back to 5 mil, which will make life a bit easier for tank users, definitely. But like Si said, I'd like that to stay in on disposables. But if they do it, it'll have to be across the board. They won't be able to stipulate a disposable has to only have 2 mil. They won't be able to do that. It will have to be a blanket measurement. So that will include them if they are still allowed to sell to general public without prescription. But yeah, I mean, I've got my dump tank goes 33 mil, 34 mil, something like that.
But yeah, so back to Expo.
Yeah.
So, Zippy's back.
I want to give a big shout out to Zippy's back. Some of the hardware companies, Jesus, you've got dark there, quick, Zip.
Isn't it? No, it's all right. Sorry about that. My phone's cut out 3 times on me today. I've got no idea what.
Can't hear you.
I can.
It was good. Oxford absolutely smashed Expo. The Oxford stand was one of them stands that was never quiet. Never quiet. There was always people there, even when the crowds were around the stage. Can you hear him, Si, or is it me?
Well, no, he's muted himself now.
I'm on that. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Wait there, it's me.
It's not you, it's me.
Slag him off now while he's not. Oh, he's put it back in now. We
Right,
can't say anything.
I'll do it
now.
while he's listening. It's more fun. He can't hear anybody now. That's all fighting. Right, you
Cut it back.
We'll follow that conversation some other time. So
Yeah, we'll do it in 5
Twats.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I'm glad I didn't do the 3 days like I normally do.
Yeah, definitely didn't need. Well, we did everything on the Friday side, didn't we? Really, let's be honest.
We had that plan of attack and we did it, didn't we?
No, we didn't. We completely winged it.
we was a proper plan of attack.
No Kev, no Grey Haze, no ODB either. I know Chris at the ODB is having a bit of time away, isn't he, at the minute? But no, none of them. Like I said, BP Mods was there. They had some nice things. Who was that really, really expensive, lovely mod maker in the OMS there?
Oh, what? The ones where you had to sell a kidney to buy one?
Yeah, Kevin loved that. I can't remember. Creative, was it?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, there were some nice mods up there.
There was some really nice mods. Really nice. Evening, Christopher. Talk amongst yourself, guys. I've just got to pop off a second. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Right, I like what we were saying. Vinny's plan of attack was free shit.
I mean, looking at some of the innovation that's coming out from the companies, I mean, the new stuff that's coming out from Voopoo looks really good.
Yeah, I got to admit. I mean, I got that.
Yeah.
And that's a cracking bit of kit. It's a cracking.
I really like the new one that's coming out from Steam Crave, but they wouldn't let me buy it. I begged them to sell me one because I would have bought one there. I would have bought one, and but that was like it was very retro.
I didn't get to see that one, but I remember. I think it was Chris was on about it because we were going to go back up there, and we just bailed in the end. It was just one of them. But I never got around.
Steam Crave weren't there, you donut.
They were.
No, they weren't.
They were.
You know, people. I heard people saying they were there.
Steam Crave were not there.
I can't get the box. I can tell you 150,000% they were there.
Steam Crave were not at Expo.
Well, there's somebody giving away Steam Crave stuff because they gave me a Steam Crave pod.
It's your Steam Crave?
I will bet my kidney on it.
Go and get the box.
One.
Go and get the box. Come and make it a liver.
It's in the car. I'm not going to the car to get it out.
No, Kev, no dinner lady.
Dinner
Kev,
lady.
the thing is, dinner lady, Riot Squad, things like that, they don't need to go to Expo anymore.
Mate, I'll tell you what else I didn't see. Flawless Vape.
No, they were there last year, but not this year yet. October's generally the bigger one anyway. They may well be the October one.
I've got to say, and this is a personal thing for me because I do have a soft spot for them. Vaporholics had an amazing stand.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark will know. Mark, what's Steam Crave at Vaper Expo? I'm sure there wasn't.
Mark, will you tell him Steam Crave will
I tell you all, who was at Expo Zippy? Oh, I bet you didn't see. Tugboat.
No?
Yeah, Tugboat were there, but with disposables.
Man.
There was absolutely none of their proper mods. It was just literally they had loads.
Right, that's a shame because them mods were good back in the day, man.
Oh God, yeah. Well, mine only died fairly recently.
I was going to buy the. Steve had one in the shop and he got a certain colour, and I was going to buy it. I never got round to it. But I mean,
Grave.
Same difference. I keep my kidneys.
No steam crave.
Yeah, here's one. Right, I don't know if you guys have discussed it while I've been off. Right, the language.
You're gonna go to one of Simon's favorite brands.
Dude, it was one of them. SX Mini, I got a lot of respect for, right? But for a company that's been well established,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, top is highly rated, to have the wording on their banners and to be told what they said blew me away.
It was just completely messed up.
Safer coils, less toxins. When you heat the what's you know, used to release all these toxins, like giving vaping a bad name or what?
I will say we probably sent the worst person up there to talk to them, but
Even he couldn't. Even Chris wouldn't get what they said wrong. It was yeah. To be saying to
it was
vapors,
inflammatory.
you know, it could be took so many ways. And let's face it, you can guarantee there was the odd anti-vape sort of what's it there doing their little bit of digging.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we know that goes on. But to be putting up information like that, you know what I mean? It's so open to interpretation.
What did it say exactly, Zippy? Just so everyone.
I wish I'd got a photo. I wish I'd got a photo of it, and it was along the lines of less toxins and safer coils to do with the heat up when you ramp them up and stuff. So
basically saying anything over a certain power for a certain amount of time.
Over 4 seconds.
4 seconds, that was it.
Release toxins from the coils, from the metal of the coils.
And that was their language. That was their. And I was like, you know, do you not realise what you're saying to people that are new coming into vaping that could have read that? You know, I'm not saying that they did, but could have read it.
Yeah.
In the way that, let's all think about it. You know, I don't think along the natural fucking line at best times, but I read it my way. And if I can read it, somebody else can, you know what I mean?
I read it that way as well, Zippy. And I was...
It wasn't what I expected from a brand of their caliber.
No, it's not something you'd expect from a company that's held in such high esteem.
Yeah.
Mark, are you still in chat? How did you read that?
Well, Mark guessed straight away who was on about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's somebody that I haven't spoken to, you know, also. You know what I mean? It was just, and I mean, you know, the other wording that I really fucking hate.
I mean,
3-letter word.
I know. I expect you to be diplomatic how you word this, Mark. But how did you actually read it?
What was the 3-letter words? It
Oil.
Yeah. It's not fucking oil.
Every other stand was, you know, our vape oil. No. Again, wrong signal to be sending.
Mark's checking his video to see if he's actually got a clip of it. Yeah, vape oil. The only thing I use oil in is my car.
Yeah, or a burner. You know, candle burner. But this is what I say about the language. You know, it's you've got to think now. You know, I mean, the government are still giving it a big push, but the anti-vape brigade are still building.
Yeah,
and that's the wrong To me, it's the wrong. They might disagree. They may mean something totally different. But for me, you know what I mean. The wording for me just it just threw. It just confused me completely.
No, it's a massive step backwards, and it's going to confuse so many people.
Yeah.
The thing is, go on.
That's exactly the problem, Chris.
Yeah. But when you're putting this on a banner behind the booth,
It was a big ass poster as well. It wasn't a little one.
It weren't a small one. It was, your typical banner.
And the painful thing was, it was 2 stands down from the people that was trying to support the vape industry.
Yeah.
The advocates.
And
Absolutely.
what done it for me was the first words on the poster that you see was less toxic.
Yeah, which means it's toxic.
Yeah,
straight away people will go, "Whoa, toxic."
Yeah. Like I says, to me, Vape Expo, it was about going back and starting again. You know what I mean? But there was also a lot of people that were probably there having a look around that vaping, that just got into vaping, that must have looked at it and thought, hang on, what am I doing? Oh, go and buy 20 fags on the way out to the Londis.
You know what? It probably has done. It probably has done at least a couple of them.
It's one of them. Maybe I might be overthinking it, but it's just one of them. It was I just didn't get it. I thought them sort of things didn't happen.
Yeah, and like Chris said, it breeds mistrust or doubts. It definitely does that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And to be like it says, I used to remember when the SX Mini stand and everything, they were always rampacked.
And it disappoints me. It really disappoints me, and it really hurts me for a company that is held in such high regards. I mean, let's be honest, they're the Porsche and the Bentley of the vape world, aren't they?
Yeah, that's what I says. Any other expo that they've had a stand there, they've been rammed out with people. You know what I mean? They have been busy. Everybody flocked down there because they always had something new for them. You know what I mean? It was one of them. So to put it on a stand with somebody that's used to that sort of exposure.
And held with such high esteem as well. They really are.
The problem is, Mark, you shouldn't actually... I mean, you're like the three of us here. You're not no newbie. You shouldn't have to have what they put on the poster explained to you.
Yeah. The word toxin doesn't need to be on a big display like that. That's the be all and end all here.
Mate, it was that and the safer coils. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Less toxins when you heat up the coil. What? We know, none of us are daft, and let's face it, the old argument of anything you put in your system other than what is naturally oxygen in the air shouldn't go in.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're all understanding of that argument, and we all know, with these things, especially with some of these new ones that are coming out, that are 2-penny materials and stuff like that, there are potential for issues in quality.
Yes.
Yeah, we all know that. None of us are stupid, but to put that, it was like, what?
Yeah, and it's just, it was a massive cock up on their part, let's be honest. I'm slightly fearful that they've had that on display at all the expos they've been at, because they was at Stuttgart as well.
You can guarantee that banner's everywhere, man. That's probably used on billboards and shit.
The thing is, Mark, we know there's certain coils that you have to use temperature control on rather than wattage control because of the materials that are in them. But new vapors will not be using those. New vapors will be using the stock coils. They will be using the stainless steel. They'll be using the
Nichrome.
Nichrome. That's the word I was looking for. they're not toxic. And even to the slightest advantage, and like Kev says, there is what, 1/10 of the toxins in a coil that you would get from combustible cigarettes.
Not even that. You're talking thousands of a different, thousandths of an amount comparing the two. It's
dangerous.
I really hope they realise they shouldn't have done that and don't do that again. Imagine if there was actually someone from the gutter press who actually got access to Expo and took a picture of that and put it in a national newspaper.
Right, we all know how, you know, something like that pops up on that Bible and that can be twisted.
Oh God, yeah, they'll be all over it, over it.
I mean, I've had a conversation with Vinny. I'm sure we're going to bring this up in probably the next show. Because have you got your Vape Around magazine yet?
I've got my 3. Yeah, I haven't opened them yet.
Yeah, I think we've nearly got a whole show on the first 30 pages of Vape Around this month. I
don't know if I want to do that show. If I'm completely honest, Si.
There's a lot of bad press flying about out there, including celebrities who don't smoke or vape, who are kicking out stuff. So we don't need the companies doing it for us.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think that was their intention at all.
No, it wasn't.
My issues about the way that things were worded and where they were visible. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Obviously, whatever they wanted to say hasn't translated too well.
No.
And I won't hold no bars. You know, I have got a massive hard on for SX Mini.
Yeah. I still respect them. You know, they were one of the go-to mods back in the day. For me, you know, I got this isn't about dissing them in any way. This is genuinely just from, you know, a viewpoint where they kind of messed it up. You know, it's easily fixed. Yeah, you know what I mean? This isn't a personal dig at them or anything else. This is, and like I say, you know, there was other stalls that were having, you know, oil plastered all over instead of juice. You know, it's a general what's it. So, you know what I mean?
And while we're on this general topic of not so good things at Expo, there's the other massive thing that was there, and that is the vending machine. Now, this is in my walk around video. At Expo, there was a company with 2 vending machines, which basically you pay with a contactless card and you take your disposable out. Now, mine and Simon's first question, as soon as I stood there like, when we first got there, it's just staring at 2 machines.
You're not regulated.
I think the first thing was I kicked you and went, "What the fuck?"
And after speaking to the man, he wants 2,000 of these machines around the UK in the next 6 months. The only age recognition thing in these machines is facial recognition.
Ain't gonna work.
That is the only way they will try and prove somebody's age.
But I can guarantee you, to be quoting figures of 2,000 within 6 months, he's already got that contract in place.
He probably does.
He wants them in pubs. He wants them in petrol stations. He wants them in pubs. He wants them. He was saying about collection centres.
Mate, he'll go. There's going to be, and it'll be down to whoever has them installed in their outlet to make sure that they're policed correctly. He's got no comeback on him.
No, he won't have at all. But he was so arrogant. He just said, "Oh, we'll just put some facial recognition in." And I went, "I could grow a beard when I was 30."
There is no facial recognition for that. You know, you got 12-year-olds walking around now with fucking beards fully grown. Yeah. You know what I mean? Sorry, facial recognition don't. There is absolutely zero regulation on that.
But like you said,
That's-
chances
that's-
are he's got these deals done. As soon as he gets them machines manufactured and out, they will be
Yeah.
out.
And you'll find out they'll be everywhere.
Yeah.
He's got them all around China already.
Let's face it, China's vendor city. You know, vending city. You can get anything in a bit fucking up. Even the hotel rooms are in vending machines.
Yeah,
It's in it.
it's
There's
in
no
that
around.
walk around video. I actually get a close up of it, and you can see it all. And there's the two whacking great vending machines, white things. And
In all fairness, I'm surprised they haven't been in up soon.
yeah, I kind of am as well, Zip. But
I'd have kind of expected that about 18 months, 2 years ago.
I think COVID may have slowed it down a little bit, if I'm completely honest.
If anything, that's the only reason it hasn't been done already.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you know, like I said, there's going to be no comeback for him because it's going to be down to the outlets that have him installed to make sure the police.
yeah, he'll be on their
That's
back.
gonna be You know what I mean? So, you know, it's another. Let's face it, everybody. The disposables got a following. They're always going to have, and they're always going to be an easy target for the kids to get hold of.
Yeah,
The
and these
thing
machines
is-
are just going to make it even more so.
Unless it accepts something like the Very Age card, where you scan your barcode first, it's a massive can of worms.
He had no idea of that sort of thing existed, though, Si, did he? He all he was on about, the only way he was going to prove age was facial recognition.
Like, you ain't gonna face it.
Yeah.
It's one of them. That's just a cash earner. Niche idea. Nobody's done it yet. Let's cash in on it. He'll make his money, and that'll be another one that spots it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that will be another nail in the coffin. Let's
These
be honest.
people, it's these people that don't give a fuck about our industry.
Yeah.
100%.
The people at Expo, which there weren't many of them, that you wanted to take outside and beat them with a rubber hose.
I could have
Not
thought
so much a rubber hose.
I'd
With an
prefer
iron
shot.
bar inside it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, that just allows a negative to be thrown on you know what was a positive day for me, a couple of days for everyone else. You know what I mean? So.
And the only other negative that I have is the amount of OEMs there. You had 3 stores all next to each other with the same disposable on it, which was like the Crystal SKE one, Crystal one, with a different name on it. And they was all next to each other.
Yeah.
They were exactly the same disposable pod.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I've seen some really nice pod systems, and I've seen, you know, there was that old retro one with the Zippo lighter styling. You know, then we looked at, you had the that
The
Cosmopolitan one.
The
That
Jack
Cosmopolitan
Daniels
one, that was nice. Which, you know, it made me laugh because it was like a Jack Daniels bottle and it was Cosmopolitan flavour. Is what it is, you know what I mean? It's but I mean, I like that. I like the quirky and I like that sort of thing. But you know, would I buy one? No, not really. But I tell you something else that surprised me. Something I don't do. That when they were coming up and it was like try this. I made, you know, I kind of made sure that every time it was a new mod that I tried. How many people were sharing mods? Just changing the tip.
Yeah, changing the tip. There was 0 hand sanitizer as well. That didn't hit me until I was on the way home after it all, and I was like, "Shit! I got my sanitizer on my glove box. I was draining my hands."
Mate, the amount of people I seen tugging on the same mod, I was like, "Nah, thanks."
The 4 juices I tried while I was there, and all of them. I mean, 2 of them I was with you, Vinny, and we knew there was new pods, and it was just us 2.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, we'd been in the same car, so if either of us had COVID, we'd fucked anyway.
Yeah.
And the other ones was Vaporholics, where he got some new pods out for us to try, and that bar juice one.
Mate, you'd be surprised how many I've just seen just changing the tip over, and it's like, phew, no. Not for
There
me.
was absolutely zero sanitizing going on. I didn't see any on any stands at all.
Yeah.
There was none freestanding or anything like that. But that didn't dawn on me literally until I was not far from my house, and I was just like, "Oh, Jesus Christ!"
Yeah, man.
But I've had Expo crud. I've had the sore throat. I've had the cough since. I mean, that
to be fair, I've been all right
on a lot of things.
No, I mean, well, you did spend a lot of time on your knees on Saturday in front of me, but it's one of them. But you know, I mean, I was like, oh, I mean, I'm not, you know, me and COVID, man. I mean, it was just one of them.
And
you know?
and I'm afraid, sorry to go back to the same company again. There was only one company giving out lanyards with those your tip to use tips on, and that was Vaporholics.
Mate, I get what your man's saying about, you know, back in the day, that's what we all did.
Yeah,
I get that, but these days,
pre-COVID, man.
these days have changed. You know what I mean? It's
Vinny, COVID's gone. It doesn't exist anymore.
Well, for me, it was one of them. You know, looking at most of these Chinese companies, thinking, you know, fuck me, it ravaged them. You know, I mean, they were over it, and I didn't see any measures in place. Nothing.
No, I didn't. Mark said he saw a few with alcohol wipes.
Fair play to them. My own personal ones was I didn't, but if they did, fair play to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I said, I didn't spend a lot of time around there. Because, I mean, you know, we all went down on the Voodoo stand. Did anybody get a picture of me in that car?
No, I didn't. That's for sure. I think they did, didn't they? They did, and the actual official photographer definitely did.
We'll see if we can get hold of them from Vupo.
Yeah.
You didn't want to get out of that thing.
Mate, if I'd got the keys, I'd have been gone.
I wanted to see Chris get in it.
Oh, did you see him try?
It was tight for me, man. It was like, you know, it felt like I'd had 2 shots in the kidneys afterwards. But, mate, you know what? I'll tell you what, though. I mean, I said it on the stand while I was there. I'd love to see them bring some of these cars that they bring, because I remember when they brought the monster truck and everything else, man.
Yeah.
Get outside and do a little demo in them.
Yeah, it would be good.
You know what I mean?
That's what the Manchester Lifestyle Expo thing.
Yeah.
Had that. You could
That's what I mean.
Drifting in them and all sorts, and that was meant.
Yeah, mate, that'll get people on your stand.
Yeah, it would.
I mean, it's good seeing them all there, but you know, it'd be nice to see them go and put a little display or something on outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely.
So we're coming up to the hour-and-a-half point now, the show.
Yeah.
So let's have your retrospectives, and if you think it was a positive or a negative, Lem.
Definitely a positive one.
I agree with Zippy. It's definitely a positive. Things are moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
Obviously, Si, you've had that post in the Expo group where you're saying about things should be segmented off or zoned everywhere. So juice zone, on zone, disposable zone, pod zone. Which
I totally get that.
In the right direction.
I totally get that, but you've got to create the demand for that to be able to
have the companies. The issue there is going to be that these disposable companies are paying a lot of money for a big stand. Is the money still going to come in that will make it viable for the organisers?
Yeah, you've got to think of the smaller business, man. If you want this industry to survive, right? We've seen how many companies have we seen go by the by over the last couple of years, man? And I'm not being funny. You've seen some big names. You know, it'd be nice to be able to see some of them being able to be in a position to make a comeback.
I tell you what, right? When Stephen Kennedy, because obviously Kennedy's reopened, when they come back to Expo, we will know things are on the change.
Mate, for Kennedy to even consider it, man, things wrong the church.
I mean,
Yeah.
companies
Well,
like
he's back in business, Zip. He's got new products on his website.
No, that's what I mean. For somebody like Kennedy to come back,
He has his head screwed on.
there is a change coming.
Yeah. He has his head screwed on, and it is awesome that they're back manufacturing.
I mean, coming from a vaping pleb like me, companies like Dinner Lady, Just Jam, they've all lost their market shares.
Yeah.
No, they haven't. That's why they don't need Expo. They are still the biggest selling companies. You go in any vape shop, there will be Dinner Lady, there will be Just Jam, there will be Riot Squad. They don't need Expos.
They don't need them, but it'd be nice for them. I believe that anybody that's involved in this industry that's doing it for the levels of them, right, regardless of what following they've got, you get something like Vape Expo on over here, which happens, 4 weekends of the year?
2.
Be there and support it.
Yeah.
But I get from their point of view, man, it's got to be viable. You know, I mean, how many companies have we seen with that have made nothing going? You know, some of them have ended up in debt for going.
Yeah.
Like I says, man, it's these people that are promoting that seriously need to be reaching out and getting people to get in touch with the companies, man. Tell them you want to see in there. Give them an idea of numbers.
So another follow-on question from that is, do we need a hobbyists expo as well as a business expo?
No, there's not the demand side. Clearly not the demand. That's what the OMZone's for.
Yeah. To be fair, I get where he's coming from, but for me, that's what Expo's always been anyway.
I don't think we do need one, but from that post that I put up, there was a lot of comments saying that they need a hobbyist expo, but then you've got to think things like the Doncaster one, that was more of a hobbyist one, that died a death, didn't it?
Yeah, well, that only happened twice.
Yeah. Vape Jam, that's died a death.
Yeah, that was the camping one, wasn't it, near Shrewsbury?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was awesome.
The London Vaper Expo, that was dead.
Yeah, that was just a non-starter, really.
Because we went. To be fair, they picked the worst time to do it because it was like a week before lockdown. But
to be fair, you know, you got to remember that we went into lockdown. You know, not being funny, but we seen the figures dropping off from expos we went to up until the ones pre-COVID. You know, the numbers were clearly dropping off.
There was definitely dropping off.
But COVID was a massive hit. Nobody expected. You know what I mean? That put paid to a lot of shit within this industry, as well as others. You know what I mean? It was like, you know, so you gotta take that was the biggest factor in it. Now, you know, companies, some of the smaller companies and stuff are still trying to recover from that, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing. So, you know, to go to somewhere like Vape Expo where they were going to be charged over the odds, you know, looking at what was there over the weekend, would they have made the money? Possibly, yeah. So, you know, chances are, yes, they would have, because there was nothing there for anybody.
So I'm going to throw this one in here as a devil's advocate question. Should Vaper Expo charge these big disposable companies more money so they can subsidize the smaller companies coming for the hobbyists like us?
Chances are, they are anyway, because the bigger stands are more money.
I was going to say they're going to be discounted anyway. You know what I mean? There's no two ways about it. They're going to have a discount for getting there. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, for me, the Vaper Expo has been allowed to build into that for one reason, because they can charge commission on this stuff. You know what I mean? It's they're making their money from the stands. Why hire out 3 or 4 stands that, you know, trying to fill them, which, let's face it, they weren't doing pre-COVID. How many stores did we see that were empty? in the last few, you know, they weren't selling these stands where they can sell a whole floor section of space and charge a massive premium. They're making the money for it. Then to them, it's not about who's there.
No, it's not.
I mean, as a positive, I only see one heat not burn product there.
Yeah, there was only one of them, and it wasn't IQOS.
No.
I thought I'd seen a couple. I'm sure I've seen a couple.
One of them looked like a heat not burn, but it wasn't.
They had a cartridge, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Let's get on to that one. Please tell me you've mentioned that. But
Which
no,
one?
I think no. We'll just finish off with Simon. I think I saw 2 or 3. I seen that first one, which was the pipe with the bowl and everything. You know, that looked nice. But then I'm sure just past there, round the corner, there was another one. Then there was another one across the way.
There was a few sort of CBD burn type things, burning bud and things like that. There, definitely.
Yeah.
We're on about the tobacco ones.
We're more on about the ones.
Nobody burns tobacco in a dry burner.
Yeah. No, there is
nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody buys one of them to burn tobacco. Trust me. If you do, you need to get out more. You know, that's what they were made for. That's what they were made for. You know what I mean? They were never a tobacco product. No. They weren't. That's just a loop.
Recreational use.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Are we going to touch on the other thing that we've seen on the Vaper Expo page about the person that tried that CBD product?
Yeah,
the sport side.
See.
Yeah,
but
I can't remember the name of the company, but yeah, somebody.
It was Vase Green.
That's the one.
It was Vase Green, and it's all over their page. Their page is directed from a French Paris website. I can't make head nor tail of this cannabinoid sativa out and this and that because I mean, not being funny, but that's not any effects that I've ever known from.
Well, obviously, we discussed it, Zip, and it seemingly is a synthetic.
Mate, not being funny, I saw reports, right, going back 3-4 years, claiming to be THC juice coming from places.
Yeah.
And it was basically synthetic spice.
Yeah.
That was freely available. You know what I mean? And it come with a full THC report and everything else, but it clearly weren't fucking THC. But
obviously, someone's used this device and they collapsed and felt paralyzed.
Mate, obviously, they should only have had, right? You are only supposed to do that a couple of seconds, one puff, and then take a few minutes between puffs.
Yeah.
Right? If they haven't done that, not being funny, man's chucking a whitey.
I suppose, yeah, it's a bit of user error in a way, isn't it?
It's one of them. You've got to lay blame on the company. You've got to lay blame on that person for obviously, you know, you don't go and try a product like that without asking a few questions first.
Is there a place for it at the Vaper Expo, though?
No, it's not legal.
No.
You know what I mean? I don't care what anybody says.
The CBD expos that happen, it shouldn't be in the Vaper Expo. Obviously, most people who watch this know about the issues in America with the vitamin E acetate in it and the burning of the lungs and things. That's just another element we do not need over here.
It's one of them. If it's not something you can actually legally use, right?
Yeah.
Then no. We all know it's going to be there, and I expect it's going to be there again and time again. Because there'll always be a demand. The fact people have gone to the stall and tried it shows there's a demand, right? Reading that post, I've seen 2 or 3 people that had a bit of a funny reaction to it. It tells you all over the labels, this may cause a reaction, right? It's all there in black and white. They've covered their ass with it. But, you know, if
How
they
many
are
people
going to bring
read
it,
the
they are going
labels?
but that's down on them. User error.
That is user error at the end of the day. But
Just look
it
at Vinny
doesn't
with
really
his
have a place.
GoPro.
Well, yeah.
I got it working. Shut up.
No, but you know what I mean. It'll be back again. It'll be there again. But I just hope people. This is where education is key. You know, if you're going to try this, be prepared and make sure you're using it properly.
Yeah.
You know, fair play to him. I hope he's all right, and I hope anyone else that was affected is all right. But again, do your own work.
Yeah. Look what
It's you breathing. It's you breathing that shit in, man.
Yeah.
You're breathing that shit in. It's down to you to know what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, when I started vaping CBD, I had no clue. I mean, Jesus Christ, I was dripping 1,000 milligrams CBD in a review and I got off my tits.
Yeah.
You know? And that's because I didn't realize I was supposed to put that into a 30ml bottle.
Yeah.
Read the fucking label, people. It's not rocket science, really.
Mate, it's one of them. They all, you know, HHC is something I've got no knowledge of apart from what I've read this week, right? But, you know, I mean, THC oil's been around for a few years, liquid.
Yeah.
You know, that's been around. People have tried it. You know, I've tried it in the past. You know, CBD, I like a CBD. You know what I mean? It's completely legal. You know, you can chung it away. I like living in a chilled out world, man. You know what I mean? It's one of them.
Yeah.
That's what it does for me. I'll use it. Help. You know, CBD is one of them. People are still, you know, oh, it's taboo. You know, you shouldn't really use it. No, you can use it.
Oh, Jesus Christ! It has some amazing effects.
Yeah. It's not a miracle cure, and it's, you know, but it.
I mean,
you know, when if you are
my
somebody,
nurses that on, the difference that can make with people with dementias and Alzheimer's is amazing.
Mate,
I mean, we're
it's
talking
come a long way.
where it goes in the mouth, but it's
it's come a long way, and the effects of it are beneficial. You know what I mean? Like I said, education is key. Do your homework.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna go vaping that shit, you know, this is from somebody that vaped the tincture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I was you know what I mean?
I mean, our good friend Ron Pimples has got a line, hasn't he? I know he's got. Has he still got the shop in London, Zip?
I believe so. Waltz Wellness, yeah. To be fair, man, things over in America. I mean, there's a lot happening with brands coming back. I don't know if you're aware, Chuck Clouds is coming back.
Really?
Yes, Chuck Clouds is on its way back.
I did not know that.
They've already started. Jay Clark, he's back. You know, obviously Pat Murphy's still doing his little bits of investment with others, Escobars and stuff like that. But there's a nice little. Yeah, I know, man. I'm always going dark. Don't worry about it.
It's incognito.
Yeah, but there's a lot of, you know, things happening in America up behind the scenes and stuff that again, positive signs, and it's nice to see them come through.
Oh man, it'd be good to see some of them back over. Cheryl Agro, and
Cheryl Agro from well, that's
Innovates.
You had Peoples from Market Brands.
Lindsay from AV as well.
Yeah.
It'd
be nice to start seeing some of these like coming back. You know, and
them sort of people in the home zone would even lift that even more. That would just be
that you get people like that back in that home zone, mate. That home zone isn't holding anybody in. You know what I mean? We'll remember them days. Mate, we all remember them days, you know, hanging out with Ariel and Danny Cushion, all them on the Cloud Island stand. Pat, you know, joining Pat on the Evo stand and everything else, man. We've all been there.
Yeah.
And that for me is the expo. That for me is, you know, the community get together. You know, you can put as many negatives in the way as you want. If you've been to some of these old expos, man, you know they were heaving. You knew the places to be.
I want to go to Chinese. I want that night. I got robbed of that night.
Uncle Dave.
The legendary Uncle Dave.
Yes, Mr. Chinese Dave. Balancing chairs on top.
Stories I got off that, and I was like, I had to go home. I was just like,
mate,
Christ.
I got lucky to go out with them all a few times, you know what I mean, with Pat and Ariel and all them. And I got to say, man, some of them were the best nights I've ever had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The after party was the place to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, you know, I was fortunate. I moved in some nice circles, you know what I mean? It'd be nice to see them coming back.
Oh. Imagine Ariel coming back, Immortal coming back, Armageddon would just be huge.
Mate, if Kennedy's coming back, I wouldn't be too surprised to see some of these others coming back.
Oh, I tell you what, it gives the industry the shake-up it needs, I think.
Mate, at the end of the day, let's face it, when all of them left, you know, and let's not forget the UK stuff. You know, you had Morningstar, you had Endless,
yeah.
You know, Paul Harrison and Endless. Look at the following he had.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, he had some good people that were repping stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's face it, because we were all high-end fucking snobs, we were some of them that were sitting there saying, oh, you know, I wouldn't have one of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I look back now and I think, what a fucking mistake.
Yeah.
But, you know, it'd be nice to see the likes of them coming back because, you know, I mean, I remember Paul. I mean, I knew Paul Harrison as a kid growing up. You know what I mean? So to see somebody from your childhood sort of, you know, getting the following that he did and stuff like that and what he did for the industry in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he rubbed some people up the wrong way, but he did it his way. And fair play to him for that. He definitely did it his way.
He always seen it through. Yeah. He weren't afraid to sit there and tell somebody they were a twat. You know what I mean? If they were a twat, but you know,
told them for sure because he did me.
But look at what he created in the vape industry.
Yeah, there's no one in the UK now.
No, to see people like them missing from the expo.
Yeah, I mean,
Oggy,
Oggy actually did a post in his Morningstar group probably 2 months ago.
I did see that.
Some spare blanks left over. He was like, "Who wants a run? I'll do a special run, make a few mechs. Who wants one?" Yeah. Nobody, absolutely nobody wanted them.
Because that you know, up until now, I've never known anybody talking about mechs for the last couple of years, really. You know what I mean? But to hear some of them, you know, there was Conrad and I believe it's Lindsay. To see them there still repping away. You know, that was nice to see. You know what I mean? I didn't get a chance to meet Mark. I'm assuming that's Mark Hartfield in the comments. No.
I don't think he's in the comments. The Mark we was talking about is Eat My Baby, little tiny guy who's a reviewer.
No, I was going to say like Mark Hartfield. I don't know if he went. You know what I mean? But
I think he had a family thing on, so I don't think he could get down. Hatman, isn't it, Mark Hartfield?
Yeah. And, you know, like Pixie Quim and all them.
Oh, gee, you know what I mean? Pixie around in a long while. I know Messi's still about, Messi Laos.
Messi, Maria Sonar and them are, Maria Sonar's doing well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, Mac Egg Goose is still, I still see his name pop up now and again.
I haven't seen Mac around for a while, actually.
I went to school with Mac.
No, but these are the faces that I've missed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You chuck all them in the, you know, take the Americans out of it, but chuck all them back in the home zone and watch what happens. You know what I mean?
You see, I feel really bad because I missed the whole Mac thing. It just sort
of you lost that big time.
I must still have 60 megs.
Mate, I've still got a lot of mine. I couldn't part with some of mine.
No.
You know what I mean? And you know,
I've still got my pocket rocket zip. That's sat right on the shelf right next to me.
Mate, I've got my.
There.
I've got my Pocket Rocket. I've got my Vitality with the Reckoning combo that I had patinaed by Moddy Watcher.
Yeah. Oh, that
You know
was
what I mean? I've still got that.
bloody hell.
You know what I mean?
I mean, with me, the only mech I ever owned was an Endless.
Yeah. Well, my first mech was an Endless.
I never owned one because I have to admit I was a fucking snob.
No, my first ever mech was a stacked Endless. Not just a
I
single.
never owned one. And I got to say, it's one of the biggest sort of... I should have paid more attention.
Zippy, you need to get the BST, the sales chats things on Facebook. They go for about 15, 20 quid.
It's crazy, isn't it? But I mean,
there's people selling bloody Morningstar in there the other day for 30 quid.
Mate, look at what we were selling our Apocalypses and everything for.
Yeah, well, I kept all mine.
Yeah, them HMM squonks.
I have piles of them sat right next to me. I've got about 40 of them.
Mate, I've still got my MechLife on there. I've still got my MechLife TI. I'll never get rid of that.
Oh, God, yeah. No. I've still got that. It's these are all bloody Apocalypse decks just sat here. I've got no caps. Oh, no, I have.
Mate, I remember when it used to be 30, 40 quid for a HMM mod.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When the RSN started dropping out of the market. So, I mean, for me, Simon, you missed out. You know what I mean?
I need to get myself a proper Mac because I feel like I've missed out majorly.
Dude,
I've got my grip right in front of me, Zip. I didn't even see it.
One thing there, right? That comment, I've got to get myself a proper mech, right? You've got a proper mech.
I haven't because it's rusted and upstairs and I can't get it apart.
Simon, Haley's got some that she got off Josh.
Man.
You've got some. You've got one of Ariel's mods. You've got one of Ariel's mods sat in a box down there.
Get it on.
OG Armageddon.
No, but you know what I mean? It's, the likes of our opinion. We've had our opinion for years on the mech market, right?
Yeah.
This man here is the one that, you're the new faces of the mech market.
Yeah.
Them people who haven't been in that mech market, you're the people that are bringing out and branching out and trying these things now, right? We've been there, done that.
I mean, I've been on the scene a long time, as Vinny well knows, but I've always been in like the sub-home, regulated mod side of it.
Cannot beat the flavour of an RDA on a mech.
No.
You know what? It's making me want to go re-wick. I've got some brand new coils in there from that guy that was undoing them. I'm going to build an RDA and I'm hitting them.
No, I'm thinking about getting one of these squonks. I'm going to go with the titanium. But seriously, man.
I've got the glow in the dark half moon Zip. I've got that one.
Not for fucking much longer, you might not.
We should all go out and buy. Well, I'll have to go out and buy a load and get one of them gun belts to stick mechs in it and do the whole.
I always wanted one. Who was that crazy Russian guy who was always on the cloud hiding stand?
Yeah, Dan.
That's him. I was supposed to get one off him, and then he never came back.
He was Dutch, weren't he? What was he now?
No, the big Russian guy with it.
He did the mods. He did the mods.
Yeah.
Oh, what did he do now? See, again, another name.
Yeah, he was crazy. He was
the one who did the engraving on some of the collabs with different mods. He did the engraving. Oh, Jesus.
Big, tall guy, wasn't he? Was absolutely massive. Yeah. Really scary.
But absolutely. I tell you what, that man was a legend. To talk to him and his knowledge and everything else. You know what I mean? He was incredible. And the detail that he put into his work was incredible.
Yeah.
There was never you knew when you bought one of the pieces that he'd had a part in it. It was quality, man.
Yeah, it was absolutely
He did the engraving. I can't remember who it was for. He did it for a couple of companies, man. Because he did one for Ariel, I'm sure.
He did. I can't remember which mod it was, but he did. I know he did.
I was going to say,
it's one of the limited runs Ariel did.
Yeah, a lot of his stuff. Well, I think all of the stuff that he did or he collabed on was limited edition. There weren't many because of the amount of time and effort.
he did it all by hand, didn't he? It was yeah.
But
It's
you
like
know, I mean,
for Purge.
again, it was something that I never had a chance to own a piece of his work.
No, I didn't either.
You know what I mean? And you know, his work was phenomenal.
I'm feeling really
I
jealous.
really want to build a mech now.
I'm feeling really jealous now. While I was there with the mainstream, you was there with this.
Yeah,
I'd say I was there at the expos from what 2017 was my first one.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we were hanging on the Cloud Island stand with that one.
We was hanging off the Clyde Island stand. That's it.
I mean, 3-day weekend, man, and we all dropped on the last day. And Andy had his finger gravy with that.
When he was doing his coils on there, man, that was hilarious.
Mate,
that was my best expo. That one.
Mate, there's been expos that have come and gone since then, man, but nothing will top that day.
Right, let's put this into perspective. While you was there hanging about on these mech stands, my highlight was that voice-activated mod by
Wizmech.
Lightjoy.
Oh God, yeah. When I saw stuff like that, I just walk up to Sandy and go, "Why? Why?"
See, but I wasn't. I was the sort of person that'd walk up and say, "I like that shit. Bring it to me." You know what I mean? I'd 9 times out of 10, I'd go home with one. But I know again,
it's like the iJoy voice activated was brilliant as long as you spoke to it with a Chinese accent.
But see, the thing is, you say that you're stuck in the main brand where we in the main sort of stream while we were all in this little sort of what's it. But you know what? I'm kind of jealous of where you was because we spent so long.
We got absorbed, didn't we? Completely
being part of it, mate. We missed so much that was happening.
Yeah. Because you know they took this term around, you know, the vape snobs and the elitist, and let's face it, we all fucking were. Yeah, we was completely.
Yeah, I mean, there's not many.
They were the days where I had contacts in iJoy, Smock, Geek Vape even back then.
Yeah.
And
mate, back then I'd got contacts with Vaptio and everything, but it was like we
Vaptio,
you know,
Jesus,
for me, not being funny, but for me, I was on that many teams and part of that many other communities outside, which, you know, I mean, all personal friends, you know what I mean? So it was like we were all there supporting each other. That we didn't have time to get involved in that mainstream.
Tim, I don't know if you've how many times you've been in the show, but you'll know that I won't have a bad word said against Smog. I mean, Smog.
And the thing is, right? Can you remember what our first ever device was that went sub-zero on the Cool Wall?
The Alien,
was
it?
Smog Alien was our first ever device that went sub-zero.
You got to admit that mod was one of those that outsold everything in its path.
Yeah.
For however many issues that people had with it, they'd still go back and get a second and a third and a fourth. I've still got one knocking around that's got no paint.
If I went to a vape shop today and they had one
sealed, or the AL85, the next one down with a screw top.
Yeah, is that the next one? Is that the one that put the Yee chip in? There was a Smock at some point that had a Yee chip. I can never remember.
The Smock AL85 was the small one, about so big. It was same colour pattern as the Alien. And you had to unscrew the one side of it. You had your tank and you had to unscrew it to put your battery in. And then screw it.
Yeah.
I'd quite happily use one of them now. You know what I mean? Remember, I was looking the other week for a mod that I had years ago, the Deviant. The alien looking one.
Oh, yeah. The
alien body. I was looking for one of them because, I mean, for me, I want to replace some of them old mods.
Yeah. It's,
I really do.
For me, it would be the old Wismec, the old RX200. That was my first proper mod.
Mate, I've still got to replace my kitchen side after having one of them. There is no way I'll touch one of them with a barge pole ever again. Mate,
mine actually only died about a year ago, is it?
I put mine on charge and I come home the one night and it had only been on an hour or two. And I literally come home and I was like, what's that smell, man? And you know when you've got that smell of electricity and stuff.
Yeah, that electric.
Mate, I hunted the house, taking into account Sarah and the kids were in bed. I hunted this house to figure out what the fuck had gone on. And it turned out the mod had vented out the bottom and had blown up.
Oh, Jesus.
And it had burnt through the kitchen sideboard.
Bloody hell.
And Jesus that was one of them.
And that's why you use an external charger, people.
Yep. I mean, don't get me wrong. This was back in the day when I was probably
where everyone did it,
trusting of the mods. You know, I was a bit too trusting of the mods. You know what I mean? But I've never charged.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, apart from these where you've got no choice. But I have to say with this, right, that Argus, I like seeing the gene chip. I like the look of it.
It's a good chip. Genie chip's a solid chip, no matter which variant it is.
No, but I mean, perhaps, you know, a bit naively, I'd trust charging that up, but never again would I charge an external battery in a mod.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, I mean, and you know me, I trust my mods.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're all cleaned and everything else regular and stuff. You know what I mean? I do look after my mods. I do look after my batteries. You know what I mean? I'm not a brain dead when it comes to, you know, looking after your batteries and stuff.
No, it's a necessity, innit? Let's be honest.
Yeah, mate, we've all made mistakes with them and learned the hard way. But you know what I mean? None of us have gone back and done it again.
Once you have a thermal runaway, you don't have it happen again.
You know what I mean? No, it's one of them. You know, it happens.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, I was thinking the other day. I was looking back at some of these mods, and I was like, you know, I remember that. I mean, my first mod, the IPv2.
Oh wow! You know, with, yeah. They did do an up-to-date version of that about a year ago, is it?
You're joking.
Nah.
Yeah, I mean, even, you know, there's still mods that I'd never used, which was the Smop Mag, the pistol grip one.
I had that one.
Yeah, I mean, but, you know, I'd quite happily go back and go and get the, what was it, the T-Priv?
Yeah.
The touchscreen, if I remember right. Was that the one?
That was the first touchscreen one, yeah.
I mean, they were all decent mods back in the day, man.
Yeah.
But no, hello to you, by the way.
You're leaning forward, Si. You got something to say?
No, it's just the fact that I want a Mac now.
You've got them. Amy's got some, mate.
I'll tell you what.
Box.
If you do, right, and I mean this with all what's it, go get one. Go look at some of your old juices that you've had sat on the shelf and stuff like that you've had for a couple of days, then got bored of, and go and fire them up on a Mac.
Yeah. Completely different level.
No, yeah, it will change your juice sort of.
That's why I did every juice review with an RDA and a Mac back in the day. Every single one of them, I'd have a Mac. It'd be my grip. As soon as I got that grip, I never stopped using that grip.
No, but the thing is, back then, we should have also been doing reviews in Subhome as well because of the difference. Yeah, we should have. Because of the difference in the taste, because not everybody was jumping on the Met market, you know what I mean? So, you know, again, lessons learned.
Yeah, definitely.
But we all know just how much that Mech, a nice set of coils, nice cotton, 2 freshly charged batteries, or one. You know what I mean? And go drip a couple of juices of, you know, a couple of drops of juice, even ones that you thought were rank. Go and drip them on a Mech.
Yeah. I'm sat here now, getting ready to go build a Mech. It's got to be done. It's just got to be done.
Mate, I've got two 21-700s in there, and I'm slowly debating on. I'm just trying to figure out when I bought them because I know they wouldn't have had much use, but they've just been sat around, and I'm like,
You still got a charger, Zip? See if they take a charge first. Would be my first port of call.
yeah, I've still got on my charger and stuff. They're probably about 12 months old and seen a mod twice.
Ah, they'll be just check the wraps, check the insulator.
Yeah,
Stick them on the charger and see how they go on there.
it's just that they've been sitting there, and that's the only reason.
Yeah, they might be dead, so that's what's.
Oh, they're going to be.
Zip. Look at that.
Set
Look what
time
it's got
key.
sat there.
No, that's the
Totally
Doom. Isn't it?
Armageddon.
No, what's that? Bring it back. What
So
number's
that's the
that?
maths.
What number
is
is that? Is that number 13 by any chance?
No, it's number 14.
14. I know exactly where that's come from because that's from Josh and that was mine.
I was just trying to remember which one.
I think I may have got off you, Zippy.
Stands a good chance, you know.
Yeah.
Because I think there was only really me and Andy back in the day that when Immortal
Yeah, that's
first.
Josh's Black Siege. That eats like a train, Simon. That's the hardest eating mech I've ever had in my hands.
Because me and Andy had some of the best pieces that we'd got. I mean, I had the original.
You've got a 30mm cap and a 25mm cap there.
Watch this man's always late.
They would blow your head off, mate.
Haley's probably going to kill me for getting these out now, but
dude, they're there to be used, man.
Yeah. Well, that Black Siege was Josh's Black Siege that he adored and loved, and he used to run Bond builds on that bugger.
Mate, I mean, yeah, we all pushed the limits back in the day.
Yeah, we did. The thing is, with technology and 21-700s now, you can do it, Zip, as well.
But we won't freely. That's always nice to know.
I am gonna go build this. I've got my old Vital Red that I always used to have on my grip.
I want to see him hit a mech. Don't sit there and get in the mouth teasing us with them. Get one on, get a battery in it, fire it up.
I've not
He's
got
got to
a
build
gripper.
it first, which means Haley's got to build it first.
You haven't got one RD8 built anywhere.
No.
Who, me?
No, I mean,
No, I've
bring a
got
battery out. I fucking did.
Hales is sat there in the background. Could have
no,
built.
Haley's gone to bed.
Oh, he's just sad.
There you go. I'm
I'm
gonna
have to get myself a black matchy dripper to put on it as well.
If you want one for that, you're probably looking at something like the Redemption would be a nice one.
I've got a Black Apocalypse 25 sat right here.
No,
Well, I've got the top cap.
I think on that, for ease of build on, I think the Redemption would be the way to go on that.
Yeah, because that's the inverted coil thing clamps on it.
I mean, to go heathenistic, the only drippers we've got kicking about the house at the minute are probably dead rabbits. So,
Mate,
well, I'm bringing you this twisted message at some point, so.
yeah, we've been saying that for a while.
I keep forgetting.
Mate,
Oh,
Twisted Messes were good.
It's alive!
Twisted Messes were a good little what's it back in the day.
Yeah.
I used to have one myself.
Oh, Zip.
Yeah, man, snap
That's a pair of
crackle.
Andy's coils in there.
Mate, I'm sure
that idea is.
I'm sure I've still got a set of Andy's coils in a pot somewhere.
Oh, I got a load of his coil shots. I'm so pleased I got them.
Mate, it'd be nice to see him come back, start building.
Oh, he's a busy man now, Zip.
Is what?
He's a busy man. He's got a job and everything. You wait till you see the stuff he's posted in that chat.
I'll have to have a look, man. Thanks,
Mark's got a black Alexa S24 there.
What the hell's that? I've
I've
never
got
heard of that. I have never heard
Get
of
them to
that.
post it in the group, man. Get them to post it in the group. It's about time this group got a bit more lively.
Kev, I used to. Whoa. What was that Dead Man's Hand juice? Jesus Christ, when I got that to review, I did feel like I needed a smoking jacket to sit there with a fine single mole.
Mate, I'll tell you which ones I used to like back in the day. 5 Paws.
Oh, Jesus, you're going back a bit there.
It's like Steve from LXV Vape. We used to have a thing called Fireside Vapes. And, you know, I mean, as Steve had said.
On that one. That's the Alexa 24.
Nice.
Single coil outside. Don't need a single coil on a Mac.
No, but it's good for a squonk.
Yeah, it's good for a squonk.
No, it's a nice looking tank as well.
RDA, Simon.
RDA then.
Too low for that.
Everyone get posted on the LXV Lounge group. That's where you need to be.
Yeah.
Facebook LXV Lounge.
Go and bang Simon some suggestions on RDAs. Even a Black Pandora would look nice on that.
Haley's got a box of them somewhere under here, but I don't want to go rooting for her stuff because she gets cross with me.
Yeah, chances are you've got some of Josh's down there, so you may even well have a Black Apocalypse.
You may even have a build in it.
I think there is an Apocalypse down there.
Yeah.
Get it on.
Chances are there will be. Right then, gents, I think we should wrap up. We're over 2 hours in, and Zippy's just a black shadow.
It's been an absolutely great show tonight.
Yeah, I hope some more people go back and watch it because this is, yeah.
It's one of them. We'll get more, man. It's been nice to have a chat about something other than what the drama is in Vape Land.
Yeah. Ignore the drama and just get on with. Yeah, completely agree, Zippy. After last weekend's events, completely agree.
Easily sorted, man. It's one of them. It's not an issue.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
and Zippy will be popping in and out quite regularly going forward. He's.
If I'm not on it, I'll be on the. I mean, I'm away for the next 2 Fridays, but I'm going to try when I'm down there. But you see what happened when I went down there this evening.
Yeah, and get active in the LXV Lounge, everybody. Let's get that vibe back. I realised I need.
It's one of them. Let's get it back on and let's see what we can do, man. Like I says, the only way you're going to get these companies back at Expo is by telling them that you want them there, show them that you want them there.
Exactly that.
Yeah, I mean, create the demand, and I guarantee you they'll come back. But that demand's got to be there.
Yeah, it really, really has.
Yeah, I mean.
Right then, you two, say good night. Let's go.
Good night.
Adios, man.
Thanks, people.
Have a good weekend.
We'll be right back.